This winter morning was cold and gray, and it seemingly had no potential. That is, until I put on this small little lure right here. Little did I know that that one little change was going to change the trajectory of my whole day, turning it into one of the funnest days of fishing I've had the entire season. Join me on this final trip of the year as we end it on a high note.
Good morning, ladies and gents. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. This is the last little cheeky trip of 2025. We'll see if we can get something started here. Really excited to be out on the water. Let's make the most of it. So my main focus today is going to be canal systems. I've had a whole lot of success there in previous winter sessions. Were about 2 days before a major cold front rolls through. Definitely for the trout, they like being able to pull into the deeper water. So I'm going to be casting up onto this little shelf here and then pulling this Ned Shrimp off of that drop off, and that seems to be what the trout like. I may switch over to a suspending jerk bait at some point. The Paul Brown has also been very effective for me in the cooler times of year with the trout. They just cannot stand that pause on that bait. So this little lure right here is the Paul Brown. This is the smallest one they make. I typically like fishing with the bigger one, but I don't have one that's in good condition. It is a soft bait. If you have a lot of pufferfish in your area, I would not recommend buying this, because the pufferfish absolutely love taking chunks out of this thing. They are not cheap.
Now at this point I'm fishing history. Over on the East Coast, these trout usually tend to congregate to these canal systems, and they're really concentrated here, and they definitely can't stand this little Paul Brown. Unfortunately, this did not end up being the case here. I spotted a couple of mullet on a shallow flat here. Wasn't anything super exciting, but luckily for me, this is when I decided to pick up that Ned Shrimp again, and that is what made the hugest difference today.
There he is. Oh, we got a redfish. Nice.
Although that fish wasn't big, it started giving me some confidence in the area to keep on exploring and look for other fish.
I think I see a little snook over here. Sure does look like a little snook. Is that a mullet? I'm pretty sure that was a little snook. Interesting. Switch over to this little NLBN K-tail.
Now here again, I'm fishing history. If you watched my last video, I had a lot of success later in the day with this little NLBN K-tail. The snook really loved this thing, but it was completely different conditions when the snook were a lot more active than they were on this day. So this, in hindsight, was a mistake that I shouldn't have switched to, but you live and you learn. It was this point in the morning that I saw the first piece to the puzzle, and that was a snook hanging out in the super shallow water right underneath the mangroves. After that first snook, I saw several more snook in similar type of positions. What ended up happening is that there was a shallow shelf that these snook were sitting on, and they were just cruising up and down the mangrove shoreline, and it ended up becoming a sight fishing gig. Right here I saw a snook that was around 30 plus inches, and that cemented the pattern that I was going to be sight fishing for the rest of the day. Now my big problem became is every fish I'd seen so far in the morning I had spooked, and I had not gotten a chance to even get one of these snook in the boat. Now it became my primary focus to find a presentation that would entice these fish to eat. This was a really exciting moment. Even though I lost the fish, I actually was able to get the snook to bite on the Ned Shrimp, and I found a cadence that worked. This started giving me confidence that, hey, I'm putting all this together, and it was only a matter of time before I started putting a lot of fish in the boat.
Alright, gonna work my way out of this canal system now. Hopefully the mist will start dissipating and go fish a couple other canals. This canal system gives me hope that there will maybe a couple other fish putzing around, but as far as my day is concerned, this makes it very successful because it's a good scouting mission. Very good scouting mission. Just wish I caught that snook. I whiffed so hard on that thing.
And this is the moment it finally started coming together for me. I don't know if it was a combination of the tide being perfect and the cadence and the lure size, but something just clicked and I finally started getting some bites consistently.
Alrighty. Little consolation prize for the 4 freaking snook I've lost, but there he is. Finally. Got Mr. Snook on the board. I'm pretty sure that's a red right there. Nice black drum. Oh! The snook. Be careful because this is a very light leader. Good thing he's cold. Talk about choking it. There's a solid snook. Definitely got to retire after that. Alright, let's make a move. This was a good little first stop. There are still a couple other canal systems I'd like to go try out. I don't have a ton of time today.
So here's where I made a critical mistake that I would have to try and overcome the rest of the day. I thought that I could replicate this pattern in several other canal systems that I had scouted via Google Maps and gone past a couple times, and it wasn't nearly as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I was definitely challenging after I just left that canal system that had all those fish in there. This canal system I had only briefly fished one time before, and the reason I wanted to come back is that it had a lot of mud on the bottom. My hope was that the temperature would be slightly higher with the sun having baked on it for a couple hours, and hopefully find some more active fish. I didn't get any quick success, but this skier started going past me so many freaking times that I just couldn't handle anymore, and I decided to make a move. I do think this spot has potential, and I definitely will try to come back and fish it sometime in the near future. This was a quick stop at one spot that I had fished at before. I had just seen a lot of fish there and I wanted to check it out. It was a main point with a lot of current on there, and the fish definitely seemed to migrate to this one dock. And as you can see here, I was able to capitalize on the snook there.
Hey! Little snooklet. Oh, there's another fish right in front of me. Let's see if he'll go for it. Oh, he's looking at it. Oh, there's a big snook. Alrighty, let's make a move. Some more canal systems. Obviously not on the outside. Well, I did get that one little snook, and we saw two decent ones. That's a very specific spot. Alrighty. Alrighty. Probably the last stop of the day. Let's see if these fish are still ready to tango like they were this morning. Ooh. Oh, that was not good. Wow.
I fished one other canal system before coming back to this original canal, and there just wasn't a whole lot going on. So I was hoping that I could get on the fish that I had seen in the morning. Again, like my dad always says, don't leave fish to go find fish.
So it's interesting, all these snook are sitting in between these little mangroves full of oysters on there. Try and get it in as deep as possible. They shoot out and come snag the shrimp. Very difficult style of fishing because you got to be so accurate.
Now, besides that one big fish that I just lost there, everything had really dried up. Besides that, the tide had dropped so far that these fish couldn't tuck up underneath the mangroves anymore, and that was the key difference between the morning and afternoon bite. In retrospect, I really should have stayed in this canal system more in the morning and just rode out the tide and then started making adjustments, but this is just something definitely that I'll keep in mind in future trips.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, it's time to call it a day. Extremely excited about this morning and how everything started. Started with the high tide, then tried all those other canals, and just couldn't really get anything else going. Went back to the original canal where I did well this morning. Had one big snook that I whiffed on that I'm a little bit upset about, and added another two little snook and a small redfish. But overall, for a day in the winter, I am not upset at all. Like I said earlier today, we're going to have a big cold front roll through. I'm going to try and get out here pretty soon, but it's going to be a completely different animal once I get back out on the water. So, well, I'll definitely keep it interesting, so we'll see what happens. If you guys made it to this part of the video, I appreciate the living heck out of you guys. I hope you have a blessed day and a great week. See ya. Cheers, bye.